welcome back to the shop. It's good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. It's about time I got some power and air and services into this workshop. So as you can probably see from above me, I've started to put the trunking in. So let's roll the titles and we'll see how far I get in this episode. So here we go. The first order of the day is to finish up the cladding and the window surrounds. These little pneumatic pin nailers save you a load of aggro. It'd be a real pain to have to keep nailing these pins in by hand. And on to finish the door surround. And it still works. Hurrah! You can see I've covered up the beam above the windows, and this panel here was a real tight one. Real struggle to get it in, but you hit it hard enough and long enough, it fits. This aluminium panel will eventually be the front for a box with all of the light switches and bits and pieces on it. I'm just checking it for squareness. I've had this bit of 9mm OSB hanging around since I built the workshop, and I needed a beam above the door, so I didn't have enough wood, so I thought, you know what, I'll make a beam out of this stuff. So I consumed a whole sheet to make a beam up. I had to trim it to width and length, and I was a bit naughty here because for some obscure reason I haven't got a dust mask on. This little corner had to be shaved off because these cables that are hanging down are going to fit in there. That's actually the edge of a duct. There you go, you can see what I mean. Those cables and many others will fit in that duct and go into the new box where all the light switches are. Yeah, so in case you haven't worked this out, this is going to be a duct for cables. So cables can come down here, through here, and into here. This is a 400 by 300mm alley sheet. That's going to fit there. Oops. I've got my light switches have arrived. These are push buttons, all the way from China, and they're rare in the UK because they've got 220 volt LEDs in them, so they will illuminate with mains, which means they don't have to have a separate power supply to drive them. Here's a closer shot of the switches. They're 3 different colours. They're really expensive here in the UK. So expensive that I got these from China. I bought a bag, I think of about 15 or 20 of them. No, 15 of them, 5 of each of these colours, for less than I could get 2 or 3 here in the UK with delivery. Right, the next project is to get the spoil board sorted on the CNC router. I will admit it did take a little bit of fiddling to get these holes to line up with the holes that are underneath, and I did fiddle on the speeds and feeds because you did notice there was smoke coming out of it, and you don't want to burn your workshop down. This is the beauty of CNC stuff. It's, as you can hear in the background, is getting on with stuff while I get on with something completely different. As usual, I hadn't made a very good job of my duct here, and it wasn't long enough, so I had to add a little bit on the bottom. To match the window surrounds, it needed some extra cladding, and so this is what I'm doing here. Just in case this doesn't look square here. How about that? Buy that, would we? Well, I would. Job's a good one. This is a 6mm or roughly 1/4 inch compression end mill, and the trick with these is to push them into the work, their diameter at least. So for a 6mm you push it in the work 6mm, and then that effectively the flutes are so designed that it pushes the top layer of the wood into the substrate and not out of it, so you don't get a furry edge when you've cut your piece. I think I'm going to have to replace this piece of circuit board I used to set the height on this router. It's looking a bit manky these days. You see here this router bit is actually giving me a bit of a furry edge, and that was because I didn't plunge it into the work far enough. I did go 7mm and that did help, but it is a very old cutter and it's very, very blunt. I am looking forward to the day when I get the dust hood back on and can suck all this stuff straight into the dust extractor. Made a nice job though, I have to say. Here you can see with that slightly deeper initial cut, the result is far neater. There you go, there's still a few furry bits, but like I say, this is a very old, very blunt cutter, so I'm not surprised. This plywood is also pretty rubbishy. While the router is busy, I used the time to split these roofing battens. I needed some thinner battens, so these were the cheapest I could find. People have said to me over the years that the trouble with CNC stuff is that you just press a button and the finished piece pops off the machine, and that clearly isn't the case. You need an awful lot of time to finish these parts once you've actually made them. This is the second style of former for the trunking I'm building. It's that extra hole is for ducting, flexible ducting. You'll see when we get to the end. I'll explain it. And here you go. I thought it was a good idea to check that I'd got the right diameter before we went any further. And lo and behold, it fits. Hurrah! So having manufactured all the parts, it's time to glue these little battens on. They're going to be used to actually screw these formers to the wall, so I needed somewhere for the screws. You'll see. While that little lot dries, I've been sent a Christmas parcel, so let's have a look. Look at that. Merry Christmas from Sigman. Ooh. And if you don't know who Sigman are, they are the people who, I'll show you. They are the people who supplied me with this digital tape measure, which is absolutely brilliant. So let's see what they've sent us. Knee pads. There we go. Blimey. They're considerably posher than the ones I'm currently using. Yeah, good. A hat. Who doesn't love a hat, eh? Spot on. Put that on in a second. What else is in here? That's that. Ah. Hey. Excellent. There's even a note. So here we go. This is a level. Right, let's chuck some batteries in. Negative that side. Hopefully that's right. Oh yeah, that's definitely right. Look at that. Wow. I've never had one of these before. That's God, that could have been bloody useful. I had that 2 months ago. I'll show you. Right, here's one of my old laser cutters. Oh, there you go. There you go. If I turn some of the lights off, there you go. You should be able to see that beam quite nicely now. Doesn't in real life it shows up quite nicely, and on camera it's not quite as sensitive. That gets quite a good grip. Very good. And on to the next project. This is the fence for the miter saw. It's going to need a coat of varnish. It's been really horrific here, wet and horrible, so I haven't been able to varnish it, and it'll need screwing down as well. But apart from that, I think will do the job. let me explain what's going on with this duct. Here in the UK, we're not allowed to put power and structured cable and IT cabling and anything else in the same duct. It has to be separated. So consequently, the formers that you've seen me make have got two holes in them. The bottom hole is where the mains cable is going to run. Not this, by the way, it's proper stuff. There'll be a panel on the bottom which you'll just lay on. So that's in its own duct. The top half of the duct has got, as you've seen me put in, this solvent weld waste pipe. Now I'm going to run no water through it, just IT cable. So my IT cables will come through there, through the access plug and down the wall in a piece of tubing to the outlets. And any other DC or low voltage or non-main services will run through this duct. It's 32mm and there's enough space there to get a dozen cables easily. Also, this is John Guest pneumatic airline, or rigid airline. So I'm running some of that around as well to droppers that will have, so again, T-junction, a dropper down to an outlet. So effectively, I've got 3 different services at least running in this one duct, and I'll put access panels wherever I need to get access to it. So it'll be relatively flexible in the future should I need to add anything else or should I need to take something out. The only other thing to add is this piece of ducting, which goes across over the top of the doors, has got an extra hole in it, and that's for, can't get it through there. Basically, this air hose is going to run in that, and that goes across the door from the dust extractor all the way to the CNC router, so that I can put my dust hood back on and suck all the dust out straight through this ducting and into the dust extractor. I have bought some air filters. I've got a couple of these. I've got all of the fittings that I need for the airline to go with that. I've got all of the outlets I need for power. So there's loads of these. I've got 10 of these double 13 amp outlets, I think 3 single 13 amp outlets and some fixed outlets. The fixed outlets are going to be plumbed in with flexible conduit to things like the laser cutter, the mill and the lathe. So got that. I've got, all the fittings needed for the conduit, and I've got some solid conduit as well. All of the switches needed for the lights. There's a start and a stop button. There's a couple more emergency stop buttons I've got to take out of the old workshop. I've got a load of these Sonoff remote controls which work with these switches, so I'll be able to have voice control and also push button control, and also control on a smart tablet and phone of all the lights and services. So put that over there. And finally, I've got a load of RJ45 outlets, so internet services. So there'll be, I think I've got 3 of these, so there'll be 6 points with internet services, wired internet services, and a Wi-Fi network in here. So there's quite a setup, to be honest. This is my biggest project to date, and I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty fed up with it, to be perfectly honest. I've been at this for nigh on a year, I think, and I actually want to stop making a workshop and start making stuff in the workshop, but I'm getting close. So just this ducting and some cupboards to do, and that's it. I'm done with the majority of this build. So yeah, do hit the like and subscribe bell and spanner, and we'll see you on the next one when hopefully I finish this ducting and we move on to the last stage.